Hello, everyone. I love it. I love it. Cara is not here this week, so I'll be doing the team meeting. She is in London enjoying her family. Her grandmother lives there and other relatives. So we're super excited not to text or email or call or anything to Cara while she's on vacation. Welcome to our team meeting this week. And of course, we're going to start with our Y4C2Ts, which is win-win or no deal, integrity, do the right thing, customers always come first, commitment in all things, communication seeks first to understand, creativity, ideas before results, teamwork, together everyone achieves more, trust starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all, and success results through people. So does anyone have something amazing that they would like to share of our values that we have? Anyone? Anyone? I have one. Teamwork. We are not texting Cara. Anyone else? Does anyone have a good one? One person. Two person. Diane? Okay, Nanette. Awesome. I love to hear.
So the customers always come first. I've had several situations over the past couple of weeks where, you can advise your clients, you can give them market data, you can give them your professional opinion, and they go completely 190 degrees in the other direction. And I do have to remind myself that the customer does come first. You can do whatever we can to bait the hook, and it's up to them to, fish in the pond that you're suggesting. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that they understand that they are first, and then continue to advise them as we're getting in deeper and deeper water,
Yes.
so to speak.
I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, mine is I want to thank Nanette and all the other agents who have open houses that allow our new agents to shadow them and learn from them. So thank you
Yes.
for doing that last minute.
Yes, and old agents. I'm going out next week and I'm taking somebody's open house because I want a buyer. All right, perfect. Can anyone tell us something good? Something good that's happened this past week? I know, isn't that great? That's our culture committee, some of them. And Shelly's in there with her pup. What's your dog's name? Bandit. Yes, Bandit. And so that was last week, which is a great event. You all should definitely take advantage of it next year. I'm sure we're going to continue to keep having the event with the pumpkin patch and inviting your clients in, which is a great touch. But yeah, tell us something good. Someone have something good? I have something good. I joined, Shelly contacted me and said, hey, we have a team for a 5K. Do you want to do it? And I said, sure, where is it? And she said, it's at the cottage school. And I was like, of course I want to do the cottage school because my son went there. So yeah, thank you for inviting me. I'm part of that team. Someone had something good? Ooh, Rocky.
I've got one. We just closed yesterday, 1.8 million office building on West Wayuka, which is great. It's a closing, but what's exciting about it to me is have a longtime client of mine, done multiple deals. He's out in California. I love that area. I think it's underappreciated. That I don't know if you guys know those buildings on West Wayuka. For as expensive as everything is around that area, and there's just a line of old buildings that need help. So talked to him. He came in, paid all cash, and you're going to see in the weeks that come, if you drive down West Wayuka, you're going to see my sign go up. Brick is about to be painted. We're gutting the interior of an old, ugly building, redoing the parking lot, everything. This thing is going to look like it's brand new in the next few months, and just not only getting some deals done, but getting to improve the area. So.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Rocky's great at doing that commercial thing. He's amazing. You should hear me, how much I talk about you and Angie and the rest of the team. But I do. I love the commercial team. All right, so you all know that Market Matters is a huge event that we do. It's our quarterly event. It's at City Springs. It's going to be Tuesday, October 28th. Definitely come. We have our vendors there. We'll have lots of food and coffee, and then it's a great opportunity for you to hear what's happened in the last market. Okay? Meaning Q, last quarter. Three. You guys weren't there. We had a whole thing about that this morning with leadership, talking about is it Q3 or Q2 or Q4. It was fun. Okay, and the next thing, we also have our business planning clinic. This is going to be amazing. It's with Dawn, who is the head of our Southeast region. She's going to be teaching us all about what we should be doing in the next year. So definitely come to that. And then this is tomorrow. This is a knockout newsletter. This is so easy, y'all. You should be coming, y'all. Yes. Okay. Go.
So, tomorrow we will be doing our newsletter class. It is a great opportunity. Everything's pretty much copy and paste and ready to go and move for you to send to your database. So it's in the Smart Plans. We walk through how to do it, and join us tomorrow, 11 a.m.
11 a.m. You can literally come to the class, download it. It takes 5 seconds, tweak a little things that maybe you might want for your specific clients, and then send it out during that class. It is that easy. Although you don't want to send it out during the class, you might want to send it out because it's for November. This is for your November newsletter.
Correct.
Yes. Okay, and then we also have a CE class, the license law CE class. That's Tuesday, October 21st. Again, what's coming up. And then we have our awesome Diane coming up to chat about momentum mode.
Yes, this is for everyone in the PC program. And if anybody else wants to join us, you're always welcome to join us. But the goal is to get a closing by the end of the year. If we don't have a closing, we have a listing by the end of the year. And so I will have a points tracker so you can track your points. And there is no gimmick, there is no great prize other than money in your checking account. So
We like money in our checking account. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
it
Right
starts now. Yeah, through the end
Yeah.
of the year.
And the best way, yeah. Awesome. Okay, so now we have Campbell and Brannon. They're going to be talking to us about limited common elements. No, something else. I don't know. Parking spaces and storage units. Okay.
Yeah, it's just me. I can talk about limited common elements, not for 15 minutes though. And I think we went over it in 2 weeks ago. Does anyone have any questions about the limited common elements in a condo? No. Okay, pop quiz. Can you just give away a parking space in a condo? No. What do you have to do for it? Deed it, or do an amendment to the declaration for the HOA, right? Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. So again, we kind of talked about all this. If you here's the thing: if you're selling a condo and someone says, "Oh, my neighbor and I switched parking spots or storage units," you need to go ask for the declaration of the condominium and look at the amendments to see if it actually got transferred over correctly. Because if they just did it as a gentleman's agreement, then it reverts back to whatever the seller is trying to sell when the seller bought it. Does that make sense? So. We were really going to talk about FinCEN today, and it's fine. We don't have to talk about that either, because the good news is that they have punted that down the road until March 1st of 2026, okay? So the FinCEN, the Financial Crime Network. So I do have a few notes on my phone that I'll just read since we don't have the slides up here. All right, let me get to it. Making me work on the spot. Don't love this for me.
But you're doing so good.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
All right. So originally I was gonna start January 1st of 2026, moving it to March 1st, and honestly, they're lobbying really hard to not even have it anymore. And it only applies to what? Because most of you have been here. All cash transactions, and what type of buyer? Or trusts. Some trust, right? Some trust might be susceptible to it, okay? It's a residential property, and the all cash. It could be a hard money lender, right? It's the ones that aren't subject to the AMLA, which is the anti-money laundering regulations, and SAR. And I don't know what SAR stands for. I'm sorry, so don't ask me. We can all chat GPT that later, okay? So let's see. And really what it is that we're going to be collecting up to like 117 data points from both the buyer and the seller if this goes into place. And it's invasive, right? Not only, you know, and we collect this, we do collect Social Security numbers up front. We do collect, you know, we don't ask for a blood sample yet, but I'm sure we're getting there. And we don't ask for your firstborn, but who knows? I mean, if you have enough kids, you might be willing to give them away. Some days I want to give mine away. I'm just kidding. But the more invasive one is we're going to have to turn over some of the seller's information, and potentially we're going to have to turn over their wiring information, right? Their bank account information. And that's just so that the government can make sure that money's not being laundered through residential transactions. So I wish I had more slides up here, but I don't, so I'm kind of spitballing. So let's see. And it's going to be harder for us because we're the title person who's reporting it. So there's going to be an additional charge to it, probably on the buyer side. So you got to be mindful of that. We haven't set the amount that we're going to charge yet, but I mean, with as much information as we're collecting, it's not going to be the 150 one that we're used to, or the 250 for just clearing title work or stuff like that. It's gonna be higher, unfortunately. But again, let's all just go home and pray tonight, or talk to your higher being, and ask that they actually don't enforce this. Okay, this is really small. Great. All right. So.
It's my pleasure.
Alrighty, so when must we report a legal entity and trust taking title to residential property? The transfer is non-finance, and again, that's it's not by AMLA or SAR, right? Could be hard money lenders, could be all cash, could be bank of mom and dad. Probably bank of mom and dad probably aren't putting things in an LLC or maybe a trust, but they could be subject to that. It applies to single-family homes, townhomes, condos, cooperatives, apartment buildings. It could apply to vacant land if the buyer intends on building on the vacant land, right? And again, what is non-financed? Funds coming from a lender, not subject to the anti-money laundering rules, and deeds of gift. And that's going to be the hardest one, right, is the trust, that we're transferring it into a trust, because a lot of people do that to protect their assets from the estate planning, or to do it for estate planning, or protect it from tax implications, or to make probate a little bit easier. Now, I tell you this all the time. Probate in Georgia, I haven't practiced it in a while, but it's really not that hard. So don't go spend $10,000 to get a trust just because your lawyer told you had to. They're not $10,000. That's all your face in the net. But trust attorneys, they like to charge that hourly rate pretty high. So what's not included? So these are the exemptions. Resulting from the death of an individual. So that's not included. If it's from a divorce, so anything regulated by the court system isn't going to be included. The bankruptcy estate, made for consideration for an individual to a trust of which that individual, their spouse, or both of them are the settlor and grantor. Does everybody know what the settlor is? Or the person that established the trust, right? And the grantor grants the trust to the beneficiaries, right? Very good. Nod your heads yes. Y'all are doing great. And 1031 exchanges, okay? So this is what has to be reported: the property, the reporting person, the transferor, and the transferee. Along with, most anything, the property address and the legal description. And does an exemption apply? Remember the exemptions? We're going to go back. These are the 6 exemptions right now. Nope. And the transferor is the full legal name, doing business as, the address, If it's an LLC, the TIN. If it's a individual, the SSN. Your date of birth, and then the beneficial owners if the seller is an entity. So, so this is all. This is part of the stuff that we have to collect for the sellers. And like I said, it gets a little bit more detailed. And again, I'm just going through this, even though we don't think it's gonna even happen in March now. But I told Cara I'd talk about this, so here we are. So, and who's the beneficial owner? An individual who either owns or controls at least 25% of the ownership interest of the entity, directly or indirectly. So, how do you determine a beneficial owner for an entity? What do you request? Maybe. How about the operating agreement? Right? Who thought they were coming to corporate law class today?
Not me.
Not me either. All right, so the transferor is the who? The seller, very good. The transferee is the buyer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot more information from the buyer, right? So name of the legal entity or trust, the address, their EIN number, the beneficial owner's information. So that's whoever's in the partnership or the corporation. So if you have 10 people in there who run it, we're going to have all 10 people's information, okay? Information for anyone signing the transfer documents, the name, the date of birth, the address, your citizenship, the capacity for signing transfer documents. Who's the authorized agent to sign these documents on behalf of the LLC or the corporation or the partnership? Information about all payments made by, so what else we have to collect? Information about all payments made by or on behalf of the transferee. It includes the funds for closing and any earnest money deposits, option money credited at closing, the amount of each payment, the payor, the payment method, the name of the financial institution, and the full bank account number. So, like I said, it's invasive, right? And so really while we're educating you on this, or while we've been trying to educate you on this, is that cash purchases are going to be hard now. You know, you're not going to be able to get that accomplished in the 5 to 7 business days that we sometimes promise to you. You might still be able to get it accomplished within those 5 to 7 business days, but you really got to prepare your buyer and or seller up front, because we have a hard enough time just getting people to fill out the buyer information sheet and the seller information sheet because they find that invasive. So imagine when we're asking for 5,000 other things that they don't think that they should turn over, you know, that's going to happen like that. If this goes into place and we don't comply with it, there are penalties. It is a criminal penalty. We could spend up to 5 years in jail. You could be fined up to $250,000. So the only reason, I mean, not the only reason, one of the reasons we are educating you on this is that so you know, and so that you can start helping us with your clients prepare and get all the information that we need. And the other thing that is going to hurt for some is that now we can't even do trailing deeds at closing, right? Because we have to collect all this information before we can do anything with it, and we have to report it to the government. I think it's within 30 days of the closing or at the end of the month, whichever is later, right? Oh, what's a trailing deed? So you buy it in Stephanie's name individually, and then you want to put it in the Stephanie Desjardins LLC after the fact. For cash, typically if you're buying it and if you don't necessarily need to buy it in your name individually, you can automatically put it in the LLC, but a lot of times, you know, for investors, if they're using hard money, they want them to put it in their individual name, and then they want to transfer it to their LLC. So we do the trailing deeds. Once this goes into place, we won't be able to do it for cash transactions, for LLCs and hard money lending for or trust, you know. So we're still doing it now. So get your clients in today for that closing. But if this goes into place, we won't be doing the trailing deeds for all cash hard money lending from an individual name into an LLC or a trust. Y'all look scared. Are you scared? Don't be. Again, we just a couple of our attorneys got back from the Alta conference, and they're lobbying really hard not to do this. That it's a lot of information to collect up front this soon, and nothing's in place. I mean, it's been pushed at least 3 times now. We're on our third push. So I imagine as we get closer to March 1st, it's going to be pushed again. But really, what the government is trying to do is they're trying to prevent money laundering through the residential real estate world. And, you know, more often than not, that's how it's happening, right? You send us dirty money, we do the closing, and we send out clean money. So, any other questions? Does anyone have just a legal question? Stump the attorney. Okay, great. All right.
Your dad joke. Yes.
Dad joke.
We have to have the dad joke.
All right. This is credit to Gina, who's back there for me. She sent this to me. What happens when a microscope runs into a telescope? You know it? No, I got it. They kaleidoscope.
Bum. You are amazing. Thank you for coming and teaching us all of this. You are so helpful. We do appreciate it, even though we were like, huh? Wait, what? We also want to let you know and remind you that we do have Nicole Pompeo. She is teaching the ACE class. So even we have, of course, this is great for our new agents, but even our experienced agents, you can do this class because I'm sure there are still things that you don't know about the contracts. She is amazing, and she Nicole will really walk you through every single contract so that you know exactly what's going on in those contracts. And so full-time agents, the reason why it says that is because it's in the day, those classes, and then the dual career agents, these times are more in the evening. So definitely take advantage of it. It could be a great refresher for agents that have been around for a minute. Does anybody have a listing that's happening right now? Because we're going to play the match game-ish. Anyone have a new listing? Maybe something that needed to be reduced? Okay, awesome. Nanette?
I've got a listing in Dunwoody that we just took live last week. It's 4878 Leeds Court. It's 2,200 square feet, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Great corner lot, no HOA, listed at $720.
Is that the one with the beautiful backyard?
Yes.
Yeah. She said her client
It has
is
a
taking
partial basement.
What's your client doing? Giving you lots of pictures of the
yes,
trees.
she wanted to make sure I got a picture of the magnolia tree for the listing. And I said, people loathe magnolia trees, and that might scare them away.
Awesome.
Do you like the leaves that fall in your yard? Yeah. Maybe not. But anyway, we did not include the magnolia tree in the listing.
She was telling me about that earlier. I was like, oh. Does anyone else have any? All right, Janine.
I have a listing in Greensboro, Georgia, near Lake Oconee that we are going to drop the price on. It's currently listed at $375. We're going to drop it to $360 first. So if you know anyone that's looking for a second home or like a vacation property near Lake Oconee, let me know.
Awesome. Do you bedrooms, baths?
Oh,
or-
yes.
Yeah.
4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Yep.
Oh, perfect.
1.5 acres.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, 1.5 acres. Anyone else? Listing once, twice? Okay. Oh, does anyone have any buyers? Buyer needs? Anyone have a buyer? Oh, all right.
Looking for a fixer in Roswell, Sandy Springs, Peachtree Corners, up to 500.
Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you. Oh.
I have a client looking for like 2 to 8 unit multifamily, anywhere like North Buckhead into Norcross.
Okay. Awesome. What price range?
He would go up to like
Like
1.5.
$2.
Yeah, he would go up to 1.5. He might do more, but he'd need to bring in investors. But he could probably get it done. If there's something even bigger than that that makes sense, he would look at it. But the math just has to work for him.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Ooh, okay. I love all these commercial people here today.
We came to represent, you know?
Yes, I like it.
I got a medical office townhome in Buckhead at Piedmont Commons, right at Piedmont and Farr. It's 3/4 occupied. First floor is vacant, so great for an owner user. It's $1.3 million, but it's a solid 4-story building with 3 existing tenants. So,
Thank you for sharing. Okay, so market of the moment. Does anyone see anything different? Is it the same? What's going on? Same. It looks like the same. Yes, definitely. The price, medium sold price, I think it's fun that it's going up, down a little bit, but basically the same. Let's see. Yeah, everything's basically the same, which is good. It's a stable market, right? That's what we want. That's good. All right, next we have Atlanta Peach Movers, and we're going to have Orlando speak really quickly right here. Michael, we can't hear it.
This is a 2-story training house where they have to learn how to pad, wrap, and protect your furniture. This greatly reduces the chance of us damaging the furniture, and we take pride in moving our customers' furniture. We are a full-service relocation company. We offer packing, unpacking, local and long-distance moves, and we have a fully insured storage facility for all of your storage needs. Our warehouse is 54,000 square feet of heated and air-controlled storage. We're located off of Peachtree Industrial in Doraville, Georgia. We are the official mover of the Atlanta Braves, the Greater Atlanta Home Builders Association, and the Atlanta Realtors Association. So whatever your needs are as it relates to moving, please choose Atlanta Peach Moving. Our number is 770-447-5121. That's 770-447-5121 or AtlantaPeachMovers.com.
I love it. Edmund, come on up from Atlanta Peach Movers.
Thank you. My name's Edmund Ruiz. I'm the Director of Sales for Atlanta Peach Movers. I've been with the company for over 20 years. We do local, long-distance, residential, commercial storage. Local moves are charged by time, clients signing them on the time they start, signing them off the time they finish. If we ever cross state lines, the move is charged by weight. One thing about us, if we do cross state lines, same crew loading, same crew offloading, whatever state we go into. We want to make sure whoever walks into that house is our employee. Our employees have incentives. Damages percentage comes out of their check, but no damages, they get an incentive. So they have a great reason to make sure they do things properly. We also do packing. We can do white glove unpacking where we're actually helping them put the items back into cabinets. We have lady packers, so they have a little more common sense.
I love
the
that.
way it is. But we do about 20 to 25 moves a day. So we have a special event coming up, okay? And we'd like to invite you. We're doing what's called a Peach Pop-Up Estate Sale. It's featuring Real Housewives of Atlanta, Marlo Hampton. She will be hosting with her personal fashions collections, and also will be selling items from. We have different things. We have a warehouse, like he said, 54,000 square foot warehouse. So we have items that people haven't paid for, so they're going up for auction. We also have designer fashions, things from estate sale. Now this is we're having 2 types of events. One on Friday, October 17th. This is VIP. This is ahead of time. So if you're interested in coming ahead of time, and that's from 10 to 4 on Friday, a VIP tour of the Realtor and also our facility. It's 10 to 4. You would have to text me. You'll have my business card there. Text me, and we'll go ahead and send you a special invite. To the public, it's open on Saturday from 10 to 4 p.m. But again, on Friday, we have a special one. So you can always text me and all that. But we're here to help. We became your partner, okay? So we became your official partner. So we are very, very dedicated to this office. We do on-site estimates. So if there's anything that we can help you with, please take a brochure, give me a call. But we're here for you, okay? So again, enjoy the lunch.
Thank you so much for the lunch today.
One more thing.
Oh, yeah.
Please remember, there's no tree in our name, okay?
No tree. Yes.
I had a buy-sell customer this summer, and I referred them to Beach Movers, and their buy for their new place was delayed by 10 days. Nobody's fault, everything just didn't work out as far as timing. But they were great, and I had to call Edmund several different times about problems, and he picked up his phone. He answered his phone when I called, and it was all great. So I highly recommend it.
Well, we try. As everybody knows, things sometimes don't go perfect. They don't. The idea is if we make a mistake, to correct it, but it's always to be there. We try very hard. So, one thing about us is I could tell you, I was in the Marine Corps for about 13 years. The gentleman that you saw online, he's probably he would be a general in the Marine Corps, the way he runs his company. So, very proud of him and very proud of our company.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the lunch and your great service. All right, it's time for the Supreme team. Supreme Lending. Here's Kim.
All right, we're here to talk about fun and sexy stuff.
Yes.
Mortgages.
I love fun and sexy stuff.
All right, so first thing we've got is you might have heard that we have an announcement we have a new 30-year fixed product that we are not selling to Fannie Mae. So what does that mean for investors? It means that they are not going to be hit with the loan level pricing, which increases the interest rate. So this 30-year mortgage is going to be about 0.75% lower than a standard Fannie Mae 30-year mortgage. So that means the rates are going to be better. So what does that mean for investors? Cash flow. If you take a 40-year mortgage, for example, let's just say on a $500,000 house and loan, the 40-year mortgage versus the 30-year is $250 a month cheaper. This is open to people for owner-occupied, second home, and investors. But investors are really, really loving it because when you can cash flow sooner, that property is already making and generating money. The difference in a 30-year and a 40-year mortgage, because the 40 years spanned over longer, is equal to 0.5% on a traditional 30-year mortgage. So everybody wants to talk about what's the rate, how can I get my rate lower? It's not always about rate because the 40-year term will help you get it spanned longer and you're gonna get that affordability. So it is a great opportunity for everyone to take advantage. Some people may say, I'm not gonna be there 40 years. Well, me either, I'm not gonna be there 30 years, but this is an instrument in time that they can take advantage of in order to reach that affordability. If you went from a 30-year mortgage to a 40-year mortgage, you could afford a $35,000 more expensive house for the same payment. So when we talk about affordability, rate is great and rates are coming down. I've started to see them in the high fives, so yay for that. So yay for that. But it's not always about rate. We can get different products that will sell to different investors because we're constantly adding products to help you guys succeed and make sure that clients that want homes can get homes. And it's all about affordability.
Speaking of adding products, next up we have our 1099 only program. This program, basically, we can just look at your 1099s. We don't have to look at your tax returns. So realtors, I'm talking to you. Basically, you just got to put 20% down, and it's going to be just an awesome product to get around that 2 years tax returns, kind of avoid, having to wait, file, and have that, time period for your home buyers and for you guys as well. So I think this is definitely a great option with a 660 minimum credit score, so not too bad there as well.
If you guys know other people that own their businesses, lawn care, whatever, house cleaning, signs, whatever. This is a great opportunity for them to not have to pull out their tax returns, because everybody knows when you're self-employed, you enjoy writing off those expenses and not paying the IRS necessarily. So this 1099 program is a great opportunity for home ownership.
And then just want to remind you guys of the conforming loan limits. So this year it's going to be 819, and we can already start closing at that new amount. So you can avoid jumbo financing and put less than 20% down on $1 million property now.
Wow.
Lots
That's
of options
crazy.
out there. Lastly, this is something I'm going to be bringing to the office next month. It's going to be coffee talks with me. So you guys know that I love going to the DeKalb Farmers Market, and so I'm going to start bringing their coffee over here from all over the world, whether it's Colombian, Honduran, Nicaraguan, Brazil. I'm going to bring it all, and we're just going to have, just good coffee, good conversation, and really just get to, become closer as a family.
Awesome. Yay. Thank you so much. Awesome. Okay, let me turn on the microphones. All right. Okay. So next, we are so lucky to have the amazing Rocky, Angie, and Bree come on up for our commercial real estate agents. We're so thrilled to have them. Rocky, Rocky, Angie.
But I told you ahead of time. I prepared you.
Yay, how exciting. Angie said, Deanna, this is the last time I'm doing one this year. I might have asked her 1 or 2 times this year, maybe 3. Is this the 3rd time? I love you. Thank you for partaking. And you, Rocky, and you, Bree. Thank you so much. Okay, can you all introduce yourselves and then how many years you've been in the business and maybe a fun fact or claim to fame in commercial real estate?
You guys are start?
Angie Punsell, 25 years, 24 years. Commercial, 5 years, and I don't know a fun fact.
Oh, but you're so much fun, Angie.
I am
Or
fun.
claim to fame?
I am fun.
Claim
Huh?
to fame?
Claim
Well,
to fame.
Yeah.
Mm.
For commercial real estate. She helped me, I probably say it like 2 times at least, with a closing. I thought that the people that you helped. What was the group called? Do you remember?
The
Mark Po-
Freemasons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
yeah, that was cool. I don't
No?
know. I have to
Okay.
think about it.
All right. Oh, yeah, Rocky's got.
Rocky Kaufman. I've been in commercial real estate since 2002, with KW since 2005. Not necessarily real estate related, but for anyone who knows me, you already know this because I am obsessed with the sport of wrestling, and no, not the pro stuff, but actual wrestling with high school, college, Olympic. Coached at the Lovett School for 22 years and started that youth program. I've got one of my former wrestlers is in the back of the room who's on my team these days.
Yeah. Woo!
I wind up doing a surprising amount of business because of the wrestling community, which is kind of part of what we'll talk about today. And have a mom of a former wrestler of mine in the office as well here today. So you can't go very far in the state of Georgia without finding someone who either wrestled with me, coached against me, wrestled for me, something. So
I love it. I love it. And
Okay, Bree Wykus. I'm originally from Alaska, so I do not have a wrestling community here in Georgia. I got my license in 2022, but practicing a little under 2 years. Just joined this office in April, I think. Yes. So I think my fun fact was that I'm from Alaska, but I think also, too, I kind of like to take all the residential, good opportunities that you all do and put it into commercial and make the commercial guys and gals kind of squirm a little bit because they're used to their standards. So I think that's something I like to do a little bit.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I thought of my claim to
Okay.
fame.
I love it. What is it?
Okay, so I'm from 96, South Carolina, and if you have a good old boy or a good old girl, I'm not discriminating, who needs to sell commercial property, I'm the expert in rednecks. So I speak redneck. I do. I can handle them. They can be a bit stubborn and get their back up against the wall. I can handle them. So
I love it. I love it. So if I have a redneck, I come
I'm
to
your
you.
girl. I'm
okay.
your girl.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Crotchety old men are my specialty.
Would you say the clients I gave you were crotchety old men?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. What is it again? I can't never remember that group. It's my
Curmudgeons. Oh,
No,
no,
the
the
ma-
Freemasons.
Freemasons. She helped the Roswell Freemasons get a new building because Roswell was like, y'all need to
Eminent
move.
domain.
Yeah. They're building a huge garage now in that space for Roswell, and I was like, hey, Angie, can you help me? My client needs help. Yeah, that was fun. Okay, so what's your number one lead generation activity that you consistently bring to your business year after year? Oh, brings you business. I'm sorry, my bad.
So
Year after
I
year.
will try to make this short, but I used to do a lead generation class that was based on this premise, which it took me some years in the business to realize what my lead generation is. I used to I was on some panels in like 2005, 6, and I didn't know what to say because I felt like I just kind of got lucky and deals would occasionally drop in my lap. So I don't love cold calling. That's what I make the guys in blue do back there. But I'm a big believer in having that work-life balance. And the things that I do that bring me business are also things that I happen to enjoy. So, for example, I mentioned the sport of wrestling. The fact is that everybody in the wrestling community in Georgia, a lot of them know who I am, and they all know I'm in real estate. And I don't go out there trying to pump them for business all the time, but they're constantly seeing me and reminded, and they know who I am, and if something comes up, they will very often bring it to me. I've been collecting high-end whiskeys for years, and the types of people that can sit around and drink $3,000-$5,000 bottles of whiskey also are the kinds of people that have enough money to buy real estate. And they wind up knowing what I do. And again, I'm not there just so that I can sell real estate, which I think is a mistake that some people make. I'm not joining groups so I can sell real estate. I'm volunteering in organizations, and I'm doing these things because I enjoy doing it and I'm living my life. But people get to know you, especially in volunteer organizations like Wrestlers in Business. So I'd be part of that group for free if I never made a dime off of it. And I volunteer a lot of time. I'm picking up a crew of wrestlers tomorrow near the airport. One of them's Dan Gable, arguably one of the greatest coaches and wrestlers in U.S. history. Bruce Baumgartner, the most decorated Olympian and world champion in U.S. history. I get to go hang out with those guys. So I don't need to get paid for that. I love it. But I get tons of business from that community because they see my sincere efforts in it. And so my advice isn't like, here's this thing when you're cold calling, or no, it's go live your life, go volunteer more, be seen, and be the best person you can be. And, you remind them on occasion what you do for a living, but you don't have to horror yourself about it. And people will remember, and they will come to you with business.
Did you say whore yourself?
I did say horror yourself. You knew what you were getting
You're
when you invited
welcome.
me up here.
Oh, I sure did. I said, he's the comedy. I love it. So building relationships, yeah.
Yeah, so something I think I found a passion for was hosting events and being a part of events. So that's something that I kind of clinged on to. So prior to this, I was in commercial insurance. So I've always worked with businesses. I only want to work with businesses. You guys can have all my residential referrals. Is that what I want to do? Yes. But that's something where I created a space to meet other business owners and also talk about what the challenges are being an entrepreneur, and creating an opportunity to also collect everyone's contact information and share about it. So the leads that I get that are actually transacting are from my networking activities. So that's been something that I like doing it. Sometimes it can be a little tiring, but I think that's something where I stick to that. I host a monthly Coffee and Connect where other business owners can come and share about their services. So even if they, aren't thinking about me, they're going to get that monthly reminder. And I do get a lot of feedback from that, like, oh yeah, hey, I haven't talked to you in a minute, and they think of that. So that's just kind of that built-in, genuine, hey, I have something coming up. And then they see you, just like KW says, it takes, I think, about 8 or 10 times to see that person to think of them. So I just created that, but I also really enjoy doing it.
I love it. Angie, what's your number one lead generation?
Well, now that I'm on the commercial side of things, I chose to specialize in something that my husband has been doing for 30 years, where I already had the contacts. And I think it's self-storage, and that's my advice to you, is find something that, like Rocky said, like Bree said, that you're already doing. Yeah. I had somebody in Ignite one time say, I just moved to Atlanta and I don't know anybody. And I said, well, what are you doing? She said, well, I'm on 3 softball teams. And I'm going, okay, there's your lead gen. So, like Rocky said, what are you doing? Like my husband builds self-storage. His partners are self-storage. It's a huge part of our life. It's not the sexiest thing to sell, but it's the easiest thing for me to get into and build relationships.
Rocky. Rocky's got something.
No, just to follow up on that, I think that's great advice, and it's a part of but it's a separate thing that I do. I think that you can do it. You can start with no connections, no anything, and you can make millions. As a matter of fact, there's a guy by the name of Tim Abney who just did the biggest deal in the history of Keller Williams, I believe, $270 million for 1,000 acres that he just sold in Georgia. And he's made so far this year something like $17 million. And I can tell you that I saw when this guy first came in the business, and he was just a cold calling machine. So he is not doing what I do at all, right? And he started with no connections, no anything. So you can absolutely, make monstrous amounts by just starting with nothing. But I think it's a lot easier to figure out where do you have an advantage? Where do you know people who are already doing something? And it may be as simple as, you grew up in Dunwoody, so you already know that area. People live in that area, so you should farm that area. But it may be a product type. I started off on the property management side. I had family members that needed a little help with that. I was never going to get wealthy doing it, but I still own a commercial property management company, and I utilize that company. I leverage it for business as well. So you got to think hard about where do you have an advantage in the relationships you already have, where you grew up, the people the kind of business they're already in. So I think that people sometimes just start with like they're starting fresh. All of us have some advantage that you can find a way to leverage.
Okay, so as we know, we have 2 experienced agents, and then Bree is a little bit newer. I was wondering, Bree, what do you do? And I think you kind of spoke about it a little bit, but what does your lead generation routine look like in a typical week? And then maybe you all after.
Yeah. So I think, I mentioned the networking, so that happens monthly, but then even just following up on those, I would say that's like an every other week activity. The one thing that I've always done that I enjoy and I think is a little bit easier, I'd say on the commercial side, is door knocking. So I door knock businesses. I go and introduce myself, let them know that I do commercial real estate. You'd be surprised, they're like, oh yeah, I was thinking about selling my building. Even last year, I think in August of last year, I door knocked. And then this year they called me back. They're like, hey, I'm ready to sell my building. And I was like, oh, they remembered? Mm-hmm. But I think I was the only person that showed up. And if you think about it from, cold calling, you're trying to get that meeting with them, right? Well, I just made that meeting with them ahead of time. So I also door knock my listings. Whenever I have a listing, I door knock the community and let them know about it. So that's something where I think has really helped me. But I also attend other networking events. I'm like Rocky, where I think I've maybe cold called 5 people. But I also have created my referral network. So I have connected with a lot of residential agents like y'all and been communicating about what my services are, what I can do. And then I think the important thing is I've always said, like, I try to respond immediately as soon as I can. So if I get a referral, they know that they can depend upon me to reach out to them. It might not be a viable referral. It might not go anywhere, but I will always reach out no matter what. So
Awesome.
yeah.
What are your lead gen routines?
And it's the difference between a newer career and a mature career.
Exactly.
So at this point, yes, I'm still doing those things. And again, so I have a raising money for the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, an event tomorrow. Am I doing that for real estate? No. But as an example, some guys who are members of that group, they're my wealth managers, but I had a call 3 weeks ago that was one of their new clients. And this is a couple of anesthesiologists that sold a practice. They had a big tax event. So they came to me and they said, we need to spend between $4 to $6 million before the end of the year. So that was 3 weeks ago. As it is right now, we keep raising the bar on that, and we have put things in motion. So I'm looking at about $15 million in sales because of those two guys that hopefully will happen before the end of the year. But again, those were dropped in my lap because they're using the guys I know from the sport who are my wealth managers. They know that I understand cost segregation, bonus depreciation, all of these things that are big buzzwords now. So right now, I mean, I've got several deals like that with old clients. I have a $9 million listing coming up with an old client who came to me this past weekend. So I'm not really out there being very intentional about it. I'm just doing the things I love to do, and right now I've got enough that's dropping in my lap. I don't really have time to do anything else.
Awesome. I love it.
I'm involved in Georgia and South Carolina self-storage associations. We're part of Extra Space Owners. So I'm doing warm leads, not cold calling, but more warm calling of people who know my husband or know his partners. A little bit of all of that.
Okay. I love that. Okay. And so what I hear you all, especially for the mature agents, what I hear you all say is like that.
I said my career is mature.
Yeah. You're
Exactly.
mature.
Rocky's not mature.
He's not mature. Your age is mature, but not you act like a child. You're in there with the wrestlers, like, so. So would you say that? That's my thought. Would you say that building relationships is really important, continuing, and definitely like going into those relationships that you're very passionate about? You with wrestling, you with self-storage, and then you with doing your networking. Thank you. Building those relationships, because it's really important to continue to build the relationships that that you're passionate about. I know when agents come in and and they say, I don't know anybody, and I go, okay, well, what are you involved in? And you said that person said they love softball. Well, and they're in 3 different organizations of softball. There's plenty of people that they can be chatting to and building those relationships. On Facebook, you can find any sort of opportunity where it could be if you love knitting, if you love chess, if your school was the University of Miami that you went to and you wanted to, everywhere in Atlanta there's some place for some school that meets for sporting events. You can go to that specific bar and meet with those people and have conversations with them every day about the university, or not every day, but every Saturday for a football game about the University of Miami, and build those relationships. And then eventually they're going to realize that you're a real estate agent as long as you bring that into the conversations at some point in time, but building those relationships with people, right? How would you say that you help the agents here in our office as far as getting that out there and communicating that you're a commercial real estate agent? Are you building relationships with them? How does that work?
Can I get back to your statement about relationships for a second?
Yeah, like relationships. I think I said it 7 times, but yeah.
No, I think that this whole business is relationships.
Yes, 1,000%.
So, and again, this is one of those things that, especially when you've got a new client coming on board, I tell them right away, like, I try to make them understand, like, my goal is not to do one deal with you. My goal is that for the next 20, 30 years, that you're doing real estate of any kind, you're coming to me every single time. And when they understand that that's my goal, they also have a little more faith in, like, if that's my goal, I'm not worried about that one transaction, right? I'm worried about them, their net worth, all those things, because it'll pay you back tenfold if you take care of them. And I'll give one specific example. I had a group come to me many years ago. They referred to me. They had a CVS deal that was teed up, ready to go. They would have done it. They just wanted a broker to take a look at it. And I took a look at it, and I told them to run, not walk away from that deal. It would have been a 6-figure check. They'd never met me before. I could have easily taken that money and run. And I said, this is a terrible deal, and here's why. It's kind of sneaky, but if you look at this closely, this is a bad deal for you. And that was probably, it's more than a decade ago. I've done various deals with them since. They're invested in a couple of my syndications. I've made more than that $100,000 since then off of them. I'm actually, literally this morning, just coincidentally, I'm going to have a letter of intent going out on a $2.3 million medical building for one of the guys in that group. But the willingness to give up that money in that transaction to make sure that they were supported was so valuable long term. And it's not just, I also, with groups coming in, like I know I can give them someone their phone number as a reference, and I'm going to get a glowing report from them every time. So the relationships are everything. Make sure that you look at every single person you do business with, not as that transaction, but as wanting to do every transaction with them for decades.
I love that.
I'm going to be honest. I think so I used to be at North Atlanta, the North Atlanta office in Alpharetta. Okay, all right. No
Rocky's
shade throwing.
always bringing it
I'm here
real.
now. But I think I marketed myself more there, and I think coming to this office, I need to do a better job of it, to be honest. But something that I have done to stay connected, even between that office, because I get a lot of referrals, is I've gone to team meetings that they have for some teams that they have, and talk through what the referral process looks like, what the structure is, what the payment out to them. I'm like, y'all don't have to do any work and you get paid. Yay. But what that looks like. But then also too, one thing I didn't mention that I think is important, I also post on social media a lot as well. So my Instagram, I know a lot of other commercial agents aren't doing that. So that's something where, we're seeing it. I tag the office, I tag KW Commercial. So I try to just kind of keep that out there as a refresher and reminder. But I think myself, I can kind of reflect that I should probably come to team meetings a little more.
So you can meet all the residential
I
agents
know,
so they can refer you, Bree.
Yes. But that's something.
Rocky.
Yeah. That's something that I think I would say that me being around more. I know I'm up in my office space on the 4th floor, but I can definitely come down and interact a bit more with y'all. So.
Back to you, Rocky, for residential and commercial. I think that you've had events that you've done for like the ALC, for our luxury agents. You've put on a bourbon / something VIP.
Yeah, but that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning, which I don't know that I really expect I'm going to get a payout out of those. Having a bunch of people over for whiskey tasting is just fun for me. Like, I don't need to get paid for that. So same thing, like, you want me to support a happy hour? I'm there for your happy hour. So, again, but it goes back to, yes, there's the relationships. We just talked about relationships. Relationships with referral sources is incredibly important too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things I've heard a lot of, and frankly, I think even in this office prior, like Angie and I've talked about this years ago, hopefully it's not happening anymore. But if you refer someone business and you never get a call back and they just drop the deal, or it's a client you've used for years, you send someone to them, they do a terrible job, you now look bad. So I think it's really important to communicate well, to be responsive. And frankly, I will take, if I've got a referral source that's given me multiple deals and they call me with a deal that's smaller than I want to work on, I'm still going to take it, because it's one of those where you foster that relationship. It's not about that one transaction. So while that's true with your clients, it should also be true with your referral sources. And that's for commercial if we get one for you, and the other way around. Anyone that gives you a referral of any type, don't take it unless you're going to do the best possible job with it, unless you're going to make the person who gave you that referral look good. If that's not your intention, then don't take it.
Do you have any, Angie?
I think it's just that I've been in the office for so long that I tend to get referrals from residential agents because I'm in the team meetings and I'm networking among the residential agents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gave you a referral, so yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
there
if
you
it
go.
wasn't for that one time when we went to Dallas, you got me sick, and no, just kidding.
Gave you COVID.
Yeah, that was during
Oh,
COVID.
and then Shelley.
And then Shelley. Yeah, it was great. Well, I just want to thank you so much for coming and explaining what you all do and how you do it, how you lead gen, and who you are, right? Because we do have commercial deals, and so we want to know who we can bring those deals to. Can you just say specifically what you all specialize in individually, just so that the agents know?
So my specialty is self-storage. I've done retail, and I've got a $5 million warehouse that's under contract. I do listings as well, depending on the listing. And I think most of you will know, sometimes you'll send something to me and I go, I'm not your person. Like, I really don't do multifamily. That's a whole nother asset class that I don't have time to learn it.
Mhm.
So I would call myself a generalist, but my specialty is self-storage.
And Angie is the one who sends out all of the emails. I think it's once a month. Yeah, there's a commercial email that goes out, and it'll tell you what each agent specializes in that email.
I mostly do office, retail, and industrial. I do all sides of the transaction. So if you have a tenant who wants to get into the space, if you have a listing, all sides of it. And then I would say I'm a generalist as well. You know, I think I'm a little more like open to take some stuff sometimes. I have some church opportunities coming up, but I also would definitely like to say, like, there's others in the office that have expertise that I work with. I know Graham's in the back. I know my guys over here on Rocky's team, but Charlie Gonzalez as well. So I work with him. He's helping me with some multifamily stuff going on. So if it's in my wheelhouse, I definitely want to look at it. But if it's not, I'll find who can get it done. Might partner with them or might just have them do it. So I think bring it all, and then we can see who's best fit.
I personally enjoy the most in trying to do investment primarily. So we've got a team. So I've never touched multifamily, have no interest. Bryson's come on my team. So he is going to be handling multifamily in the future for us, along with doing some restaurant work. Clay back there, who is stationed in one of our office buildings in East Cobb, but he's been doing a lot of sort of office leasing, office and retail in that northern corridor up there. So he's more geographic than he is product type. So our management company has managed everything from office, medical office, retail, industrial. But as far as what investment is, again, there's a couple different ways to look at it, but you've got people who want to buy real cash flowing real estate. That's what I've been really enjoying for lots of years. It's what I'm really good at. They start talking about 1031 exchanges or bonus depreciation. That's where I've made myself an expert. And frankly, I know 1031 exchange better than the vast majority of CPAs out there. I have to get on the phone because a client says, no, their CPA said they can't do it. So I said, call your CPA. We're going to have a call. And I have to get on and explain to the CPA how they're wrong. And then after,
You're
that,
wrong.
Right. And then after that, they know that they can count on what I'm telling them. But yeah, any form of investment, I'm showing people how to make money with real estate and how to save money in real estate. Keep more of it in your pocket instead of with the government.
Awesome.
And Graham, you want to tell them what you do?
Yeah, sure. Graham Massell, Massell Commercial Real Estate. Right now I'm working on a lot of industrial projects, big build-to-suit project in Georgia. But I really help people place capital into investments. So similar to Rocky, I do investment sales for the most part. I have to sell this office building on the corner of Johns Fair and Glenridge going under contract Friday. So
Yeah. Well, we do appreciate you all. Thank you so much for coming today and telling us all about commercial and how you lead gen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.